Hello world. Well, here we are. Here we are again. Okay, well, we're gonna use a deck I don't know if I've actually used on this channel, or it's been a while. It's the kitty cat deck. I just finished my parent-teacher interview, my son's teacher. Oh man. My kid is tops. I know every parent says that, but every person who encounters my son is really like, that kid's magic. And I'm like, I know. So, because my son is like my little kitty, I call him my big little kitty, because he's gonna be taller than me in like 2 seconds. Yeah, so. Let's call them those crowd favorites. God, Jesus, Grandma, Buddha, archangels, all ascended masters, all of my benevolent ancestors. I feel very distracted right now. I didn't feel distracted a couple seconds ago. Okay, well, it's so funny that you guys love when I wear glasses. Thank you for the compliments. Yeah. I try to save wearing my glasses for when it's desperately important, but then my eyes get very tired. Oh, like right now. Okay. Yeah, distracted. What's raining? I feel like I'm picking up on someone. Yeah, it's like on one hand, something is making you feel really good, just in the way that like whenever I connect to anything around my son, like whether it's talking to his teacher or just thinking about him, like I see you thinking about something or someone that really makes the day go by. Do you know what I mean? Like we all have to have that, right? Like something that just like, because I feel like there's this kind of distracted feeling, and it's kind of like there's a lot of fog today. It was actually quite beautiful, but it's like it was really foggy. Now it's like raining. So there's kind of this, I don't know why, Spirit is giving me like Sherlock Holmes vibes. Like old London, I guess. But there seems to be this kind of like frenetic energy where I feel like you're really not distracted in a bad, well, I feel like there's a lot going on for you. I feel like your work life stuff, like there's a lot of busyness, but I feel like there's an undercurrent of like some challenges. But in amongst the challenges, you have this sweet spot. There's someone that you think of. It can really be anyone. It could be a passed on family member. It could be your child. It could be someone you have a crush on. It could be your best friend. It could be your cat. It could be your dog. I don't know, but there's someone or something that you connect to throughout this kind of frenetic, kind of challenging unpleasantness. And it doesn't have to be catastrophic, but enough to be like, I don't know. Okay. Well, Grandmama, who am I connecting to right now? Grandmama. Oh my god, this is my favorite. This is my favorite Fool card out of them all. I think this little cat having a sniff, and this artist has really up close, like this little kitty, just on the path, just not even thinking about it, just following his nose, just having a sniff, living his best life. That is the Fool. Well, you don't look very stressed here, to be honest. Oh, I just know what that tail would feel like. Oh, yeah, you're a good kitty. Okay, you're a good kitty living your best life. You got your fresh whiskers out. We see a sunrise. We see a fountain. Okay. Well, you're having a sniff. Oh, but I feel like this fool, I feel like this person that you're thinking about is this energy. And see, this kitty is facing the past. So I feel like whoever you're thinking about, you've been thinking of them for a bit, but they feel like this new trail. Like whenever things are getting way hairy, like, and I feel like you oversee a lot of things. Like, you have a lot of plates in the air. Maybe it's you're going to school, maybe it's your career, and I feel like it is a career. And maybe it's not a career, but maybe you're also working like 2 or 3 jobs. I just feel like you manage and oversee. There's a lot of moving parts and components. And just like true to any adulting, it doesn't matter how adult you are, there has to be like a sweet spot, this little slice of life pie where you can daydream about a person, place, or a thing, but like something that's like sweet and feels new and refreshing and like, you know, all the good stuff. Okay. So you got your kitty whiskers out. Okay, so what else is going on for you? The Hermit. Yeah. What's in this? Are those pomegranates? Oh, that's a new moon. Well, again, you don't actually look very, very bothered at all. Like a true good kitty. You're enjoying yourself. And even... what the fuck? And it's the same kitty, but it's like, you're on the trail, but... yeah, you're good to do things alone. So not only do I feel like, yeah, I'm hearing overseeing. You oversee a lot of things in all aspects of your life. Very autonomous. And the thing is like, yeah, you're really unbothered. Like, you're just like, I got this. There's like really nothing you can't handle. Even when there's like too many plates in the air, and like even if it is technically stressy, you handle it with aplomb. And you do take time for yourself. Like, you're all business, but like there is a really nice balance here of like, even when it's shitty or like you really have to handle a lot of things, or, you know, as we get older, things come up like, you know, your parents get older, or there's like deaths, or I don't know. There's things that can come up, and they usually come up with a whole bunch of other things. And when you're like, oh, this could not be the worst time. So, and with pomegranates, like, pomegranates are very sensuous, fortuitous kind of fruits. I don't know. I just feel like you're going within. You're definitely going without, because like I feel like you're doing something alone here, but you look great. You just look really unbothered. Okay. With that new moon, yeah, like I really feel like even if this new beginning or beginnings, whatever hermit energy, it's just so comfortable, and you're really dreaming big, where you're just like, you know what? Because going back to those pomegranates, you're like, what do I want? Like, what do I really want? Not like what I think I should have, what others think I should be doing and having. It's like, what do I really want? Okay, so you're thinking about what you really want. Ooh, the strength kitty. Oh, and that's like my girl Blackie. Oh my god, look at these 3 little beautiful birds. Huh. So the three little birds feel comfortable enough with you. Well, there's something about you that people feel very safe and comfortable around. I feel like you're also a protector and a defender of like some type of marginalized group of people. Maybe it's just the underdog, I don't know, but there's something here where like, yeah, you go it alone, but the things that you do have time for is like the underdog or people in need or, yeah, marginalized people. And again, relaxed. See, that's the meatloaf position. So this kitty is just like, again, all by itself, just enjoying itself. But like the birds are like, you know what? Can I get in on this? Like you look soft and fluffy. Like, let's hang out. And you're like, okay. Okay. Okay, so what's going underneath the Fool card for you? Ooh, Eight of Earth. Work. Okay, so is there a new path for you? There's a new path for you at work. Again, a lot of responsibilities. Look at how many kittens are here. That's a lot of kittens. And any good parent knows, meow, meow, meow. It doesn't matter if you're a human baby or a kitten baby. Every parent gets a little tired where you're like, it's work. It's a labor of love, but it's work. Okay. Hold on, let's get out more cards, but okay, I'm definitely getting some career stuff. Okay, so what's going underneath the Hermit? What's going underneath your Hermit energy? Oh, the Ace of Sky. The Ace of Swords. Well, something's really clear for you, and you're like letting that freak flag fly. Where it's a banner for everyone to see and know, where you're just like, it's got your stamp of approval. And whether that's like, eat shit, or like, I'm busy, I don't know. But there's some kind of truth here where you're just like, it's for all to see. And I love, look, it's like got two pink ropes. So soft. Love, but confident. Look at that cat paw. Okay, so what's going underneath Strength? Oh, the Four of Sky, which is the Four of Swords. Taking a rest. Oh, and that lavender. This is what I mean. There's all of this very like solo energy. The only time we see you with a bunch of anything is at work. And this is what I mean. I really feel like you oversee a lot of things. And with Strength coming before that, a position of power. But see, you're not in it for the love of power. Whatever your position is, you don't do it because you love power. I feel like you have the power of love. Like, you care. That's your power. But you do have to juggle a lot of things. And so we're seeing you need a rest. But like I was saying earlier with the Hermit to the Fool, I feel like you're really good about like knowing yourself enough to know. Like, I do think you overwork a little bit, for sure. But I do feel and sense and kind of see here that like, on one hand, you might have a little workaholic tendency, for sure. I also think you had some very finite goals when you started off on this career path. It was really exciting, but like, you were just kind of like following your nose, but then you locked in and you were like, okay, I want to achieve this by this time, or like, I don't know, I feel like you have like a timeline of like something that you needed to meet in this career. But I do feel like there's a new path, and it does have more responsibilities, or like, I don't know, there's something here. Let's find out. Okay, so what's going underneath the Fool to the Eight of Pentacles. No, too many. Too many. I just want one. Oh, the Three of Sea. Okay, so this is about that collaboration. And celebrating. Because it's the Three of Cups. But going back to love, like something that you love. Again, the only time we see you with others is in this work scenario. I feel as though I don't know, there's gonna be like, I feel like you're gonna go off on your own path, but I feel like you're creating a team. Like a smaller team, but it's like you and two other people. You might also be teaching or guiding or like mentoring. I'm not sure what your job is, but like there's definitely here about overseeing a lot of responsibility. You're in a position of power, and those that are vulnerable feel very safe and comfortable with you. Okay, so what's going underneath the Hermit to the Ace of Swords? Well, I also feel like you're very honest. Oh, but look at you, Sea King. How beautiful is this? Look at you. Oh, and you're fucking gorgeous. Look at those big fat mitts. Oh, you're floofy. You're gorgeous. And even though you're a king, look at that necklace. Look at that necklace. Oh, you're dripping. Ooh, you got all the right flavors. Again, comfortable. You're really comfortable. In these different kind of positions of self, whether it's you going alone, and not because you need to or necessarily want to, but I just feel like you're just really comfortable in your own skin, and it shows. And it also really shows to other people. Because again, going back to, remember I said the power of love. Like your strength. So we got that fire energy. And we see the Hermit. So that's also like Mercury. Because the Hermit and Gemini are both, like it's a Virgo Gemini card. So it's like you have the intelligence. You have this prowess and presence about you. And confidence. But you're also like totally, you're like the king too, so it's like all the way into the heart, like you're emotionally. I thought I just heard a, the fuck is that? I don't think that's a cat, I think that's a guy, but it did sound like a cat the first time. I think it's a guy sneezing. I don't know. Okay, well bless you. Yeah, and there's something here about like, you just know that like self-care, like taking care of yourself is not a sign of weakness. Like you may work a lot, but you also are really good about checking in to be like, you know what, like it's time to take a break. Like I gotta go. Not just take care of it, like enjoy yourself. So like this could be like a spa, you know, like rest up. Yeah, get those lavender pillows out, you know. Okay, so what's going underneath strength to the Four of Swords? The Two of Cups. Oh, rest up, because look, you're alone, except for at work. And now look who's getting smoochy. Oh, cutie smoochies at the Fountain of Love. Oh, fuck. You know, I love to see it. Oh my God. I do. Oh. Okay, I have to put this on pause. Oh, good morning. Sorry, I had to go out last night. While I was doing the reading, I got a text. And so, I had to go out. But I left the reading. I also just woke up. What else is new? Okay, so we left off on Old Smoochy Town. Love to see it. Okay. Let's have, hold on, I just made my tea. Okay. So I'm doing a little recap here for myself. So you've been going at it alone. Career is definitely a point of focus. Your strength personified, but you're like the gentle giant. Everybody loves and trusts you. You work from the power of love instead of the love of power. You're in a position of power. Oh. And there's something here, I don't know, this King of Cups looks like this big seal. And I'm not saying you're a big fat seal, but kind of. Not in a, but the two have similar energies. What does a seal represent? Well, seals do love to lounge. Like, this is the thing, I think you know how to work really hard. At times, I wonder if sometimes you don't work a little bit too much. But as seen by that Four of Swords with the lavender, you do know how to take care of yourself. You do know when it's important to like step back and to be like, okay girl, it's off to the lavender fields here. Okay, perfect. Let's clarify. All right, let's clarify with this deck. Okay, let's just call them those crowd favorites real fast. God, Jesus, Grandma, Buddha, Archangels, all Ascended Masters, all of my benevolent ancestors. Grandma, get in here. Okay. Let's clarify the Fool. Oh, under the moon. Now it is a little fox, but foxes are like little kitties. I feel like even when you're alone, like, it's like you do have a companion within yourself. Like, this is the thing, I think you feel very comfortable in your own skin. You're very self-assured. There's an understanding of yourself that you never, ever waver in. Like, you know you got your own back, even when times are hard. Like, I just see this as like, yeah, with that Hermit card, you're just pleased as punch. Like, you do not mind being alone. But I also know that you know how to be with other people. And also based off of your job and stuff, and then with all those little kitties following you, like, and with the birds feeling safe, like, people, I can assure you, love you. Wow, what's this, too? So the Hermit, the Five of Cups to the World. Okay, so you've had some endings. And perhaps that's why you've thrown yourself into work a little bit. That's probably an ouchie of the heart, because it's the Five of Cups. Yeah, and see the back is turned. See, you're private. You're private with your hurt. And not in a way that I feel like is like unhealthy. Like, I do feel like you probably have at least one or two confidants that like you can be open with, you can share with, but there's just this natural quality about you that I don't know, some things are just for you. Again, you know how to be open. If someone were to ask you about it, like, you'd be honest, but there's a depth. It's about the depths. That's the thing, you could talk about things lightly with some people, but I'm hearing that phrase, tread lightly for you tread on my dreams. So yeah, there's like this sensitivity and a depth to you. But you're also like big energy. I love this. I love this combination, I'm not gonna lie. It's a great, okay, let's get into that strength card. Yeah. Looking like my girl Blackie, all those little tufts. bird feathers just right in there, getting floofy. Okay, Grandma. The Eight of Cups. See, this is what I mean. You'll walk away. Your strength is like, you got all types of strength going on here. But look, going it alone. See? All of these guys have their little matchy couples. And you're like, whatever. You're like, I'll walk this path alone. I see that everyone's got a mate. I don't care if I'm the only one here with spots. And again, under the moon, with the back facing. Like, I think it still causes you some sorrow, and I also believe that you probably went through, naturally, a big breakup, separation, or divorce, which would explain this, like, working a lot. Okay. But see, because this is clarifying strength, like, even when you're hurting, you still show up for people. And again, not in a, like, codependent way, not like you don't pour into yourself. It's a very balanced, like, because we see with the Hermit and stuff, like, you know how to pull back, you know how to take care of yourself. But when you do have to show up, either through your work or whatever that is, like, you show up and people feel like they can depend on you and rely on you and they feel safe with you. Oh my God, there's a fourth. I never saw this little fellow. Look at this little bird bath. We have a lot of bird bath action in here. Yeah, there's a fountain. Look, we start off in the Fool. Bird bath. Oh, mama. I don't know. I just heard, like, this is someone you don't see. I didn't see this little fellow. Oh, that's probably the last thing that you want to hear. It's so true. Like, when you've just been eating shit and going through it and, like, going through a divorce or a breakup, like, the last thing on your mind actually is hooking up with someone new. Maybe for some people, that's also a coping strategy of just hopping into the next love train. But for you, I don't see that. But what I do see is, yeah, you don't see this little smooch town coming. But timeline, this could also not be like tomorrow. This, like, sometimes readings, like the friends that I just saw last night, I did a reading for my friend in the summer, and last night they were like, oh my God, dude, remember when you talked about the other shoe dropping? Like, I love getting the 6-month updates, to be honest. It usually, for me, there'll be things in a reading that are, like, kind of fairly immediate, but, like, the bigger stuff, give it, like, 6 months to a year for the big stuff. It's not what everyone wants to hear, but it's also, like, ask yourself, are you seeing the results? It takes time. Okay. The Eight of Penties, with all those little kittens, those little chatons. Okay, you're marching around. Hold on, I want to focus. I was still thinking about the other reading. Okay. Okay, the Eight of Pentacles. You're at work. I know you love to work. You love it. Ten of Penties, exactly. This is what I mean. You've had a goal. Do I think you're normally a workaholic, and do I think you're someone who's fixated on the money aspect? No, but do I think you have financial goals? I get the sense that you probably started on your career trajectory, like, fairly young. Like, I think, like, high school, you did this, and then you, like, went to university or college or, like, whatever that looked like, and you kind of found yourself. So I feel like you're kind of younger in your career, and if you are a woman, I think there's probably a lot of emphasis on you, for you, because I do suspect, in this case, that you want to have a family. And that's not going to be for everybody, and you don't need to want a family, or to have kids, anyways. But I do see this as something that you do want. And so, I think, aside from this, like, potential relationship that you're in not working out, whatever, I think you've had these markers to be like, okay, I'm gonna do this, like this, and then, yeah, You want a family. You want to set yourself up so that, you know, when it comes time to have babies. Okay, so yeah, you've been working hard, you have these goals, and then life happened. We see you have ouchies of the heart. Okay, so what's the Ace of Swords here? The Tower. Okay. Yeah, this is around the home, and it is underneath the Five of Cups in the Worlds, which was clarifying the Hermit. Yeah. So I think that truth was probably pretty sudden, and that's why we see the lavender, because lavender's healing. Okay. Tell me about the Tower, because also this is kind of a little bit in the story, so I'm like, is there another tower? A Knight of Swords. Oh, there's a truth coming in. Someone's gonna communicate. Okay. Hold on, I'm Snoopy and Scoopy. From a King of Swords. Wow. Is it this smoochy person? Or are you communicating to this person? I feel like I could see you being this King of Swords. Are you about to communicate something to someone? I think it's you. Yeah, I do. Now, for my fellows who watch, again, I just know my stats say that it's a lot of women who watch me, but it's not to say that this couldn't be you, and don't be offended if it's showing up as ladies. I think for a lot of you, this is gonna apply to ladies, but my dudes, don't worry about it. Just flip it around and just put whatever gender you date, just slip it in there. It doesn't matter. Okay. Oh my god, I'm just noticing so many things. This is what I mean. Every reading, every card that I've looked at for 100 years, new things. This King of Swords, there's these beautiful little snowflakes. I fucking love that. Ugh. Well, it is winter here. Although it was raining cats and dogs last night. Okay. Sorry, only just because little snowflakes, I've been thinking about the weather, but technically it's winter here. So I do feel like for some of you, you are going to live in a climate where there could be some snowflakes. Okay, what are you going to communicate? I think this is you. Five of Wands. There's a King of Swords here. But look who's peeking out. This is these two. This is the King of Cups and the Queen of Cups. Okay, but we have this Five of Wands. Okay. That's a bit manipulative, but what? Okay, hold on. This could be the person that you're dealing with, right? The person you broke up with. Okay. What's the Five of Wands about? Grandma. The Eight of Swords. Grandma, what the hell's going on? Let's look. So there's a truth. The truth was clarified by the Tower. To be honest, I was seeing, Spirit was showing me the Emperor card from this deck, and on his crown, it's made up of a big, beautiful building. Right is worth the cost. And see, this King of Swords, she looks tired. Ooh, I feel like you do have little heels like this. I do. I think you might wear them for work. Are you serving divorce papers? Oh. Yeah, I think you're serving divorce papers. Yeah, to me there's something like very That's what I'm hearing and seeing. And that's when you need to take a real time out. And what's so interesting is that normally you would see this on the very top of a roof, but it's in the field. But it's making me think of this tower, because normally that'd be on the top of the roof. And the arrow is pointed in the direction of west. Now, traditionally, the directions, like west is a very feminine energy. It's also like a lot of rain, a lot of like, yeah, east would be like the sunrise, like, so the sun sets in the west. Yeah, I feel like there's like, you really gotta heal. But even with this body language though, like when a cat's doing that, it's like really tired, but it feels safe. So you feel safe enough to rest. Okay, let's talk about it real quick. Let's clarify that 4 of Swords. What's up with the direction of west? Is there anything else there? Well, this to me is like the dreams. So little kitty, because we have direction and we saw the world, yeah, you're gonna have to recreate your world and plan. And there's gonna be a new direction. Okay. Great. So now we're going into the 3 of Cups. 2 kitties and a big fat seal. Love it. Well, look at this. Justice to the 3 of Swords. Remember when I said, like, I felt like you had, like, 1 or 2 close confidants? I feel like by making it legally official, like a legal separation, like a divorce, whatever that looks like, it hurts. You did it. And see, look, this is the one where she's also, like, looking down. Oddly enough, in this 3 of Cups, everyone does kind of look a little laconic. Like, we're not really seeing the celebratoriness, but, like, you can tell, like, they're pals, and they got a new pal, like, no one's fighting, but there is, again, this kind of, like, fatigue. Like, this guy, he looks really fatigued. Yeah, everyone looks a little fatigued. So, like, you might go out with your best pals as kind of, like, not a celebration, but to be like, it's a marker. This is a big event. Okay. Your poor heart. But then you step into this energy. I don't know, and there's this little fish looking up at this guy. And you know what I'm seeing from this deck is that Page of Cups, the red head that's like lovingly looking at the fish in the cup. Are we gonna get that card? Let's see. Grandma, let's go. Let's clarify this Sea King, King of Cups. Well, the Baby Emperor came out. Grandma, what's the Sea King to this Baby Emperor? The Wheel of Fortune. He's not my favorite emperor. Like, this is always the one, and this is the one too where I was like, oh, it's a courtyard, oh, courthouse. And see, he's got all those strings on people. And in terms of his decoration, like, to me, compared to the other emperor, this is like the kid that is like grandfathered into the position, didn't work hard, hence just like a little bit of a ribbon, you know, but like they don't know what they're doing. So I'm trying to make sense of Is this who you're gonna be smooching? This baby emperor? I really hope this isn't your rebound, because I don't know. We do see the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, Grandmama, can you tell me about this emperor? It's not my favorite card, but like I could be reading it wrong. The Star. It just might be an indication of age then. That, because this is, no, this is your energy. Okay, so going back to what I was saying about you being younger in your career and that you manage and oversee a lot of things. Again, I don't love how it's depicted, but I'm gonna go based off of everything else. Yeah, you're a younger person traditionally for whatever your position is. But as I said, you don't rule because you love power. You rule through the power of love. Like that's your go-to. And we see the next card clarified by the Wheel of Fortune. But look, the heart is the first mechanism. So everything that you do is ruled from your heart. And that doesn't mean that you don't enjoy the money that you make and that you don't also enjoy the fact that you probably do have a title with your career. You know, there's a way to have things be balanced where it's like, it's not the most important thing, but like, you know, you worked really hard and you're like, I do love this thing that I do. And if I'm honest, I do like the fact that I have this title. It means something to me. But I also really come from it, from this place. And it's very rare. Most people do not approach things through the power of love. And see, with this too, there's a transparency. You can see the mechanics. So people can see what rules you, or like what makes you tick. Yeah, what makes you tick. People can see what makes you tick is your heart. And even when you get hurt, this isn't closed off. She's looking to the past and she's holding a stopwatch. So again, I get this really healthy sense of like, things take time. Healing takes time. And this is what I mean about the comfort. You're so comfortable with yourself and with the process of things. You trust that you allow. You allow yourself to have that. Okay, I love this. Okay, so Grandma, 2 of Cups. What do we got going on here? The 4 of Wands. Oh my goodness. Look, 2 kitty smoochies. These 2 are gonna be smooching any hot second. They're clearly smooching. Okay, well, pretty much on the end. Oh, the Knight of Cups here. Okay, well, do we know who this person is? Quickly, okay, so Grandmama, hold on. We got the story here. But I wanna know who this person is. It's like the last card. Oh, I know this reading is already probably so long. Ooh. Okay. Oh, the cards are all messy. Ugh. All right. Okay, well, Grandmama, who is this person the collective is gonna have a little smooch with at the water fountain of love? 6 of Cups. Oh my God. You know I love to see it. Well, I think it must be someone slightly on your radar. Whether you actually know them or, but there's a past reference here. The 6 of Cups is always something and someone from your past. Some would also say a past life. So if you don't know this person, Or if you met them and you're like, oh man, you feel so familiar to me. One of those. Okay. Grandma, continue. Oh, look at this, the 9 of Penties. Look at all that yellow. Well, we know that this person's going to be confident. Oh, and this is the one, I love this color of orange nail polish. Just killer. And see, this person is also a friend to all. And this is where's that little snail? There he is, that little cutie. It's just peering over the edge here. So, they are also a wish fulfillment. They're single as a Pringle. And really, like, this person actually kind of looks similar. Okay. Oh, a Knight of Wands, too. Well, and this Knight of Wands, she's sitting to the side. She's got the top hat on. So I feel like this is someone who, I don't know, I'm hearing the word dignity. They have a lot of dignity. And what's interesting about this Knight of Wands is that this is in the middle of the forest, in the middle of the night, so not really an audience. It's kind of like they also just do it for themselves. They're like, you know what? I'm up right now. Horsey, are you up? This horsey was sleeping. You can tell because he's got big bags under his eyes. And it's like, what the fuck are we doing right now? It's the middle of the night. Why are we jumping through fire? Fair. But yeah, this person is kind of like, doesn't give a fuck. If they're also a loner. But I also feel like this person also loves kids or like would want to have kids. There's something here about, again, family. But yeah, this person, yeah, they like to get dressed up and like just live their own best life. They don't care if there's someone around. Interesting. I could see how you would find that. Oh, look at that, the tower. Oof. Oh, my favorite. Wow. Yeah, I don't think you see this person coming at all. I don't think this person sees you coming at all. Like, I literally think that both of you are just hermiting and doing your things by yourselves. Yeah, and this person's just like, I don't know. Yeah, like literally just playing in the woods by themselves, just doing whatever they do. Yeah, I feel like you both two little solo little entities are just gonna be doing your own little things and then like, boop. Yeah, like you literally are out in the middle of nowhere and you're like, oh, we're at this old-timey water fountain in literally the middle of nowhere. Huh. Okay, so Grandma. Collective, what's your first impression gonna be when you see this person? Oh, they're the Empress. Oh, and look who's on the bottom. You're attracted. Look at that dress. Again, the babies. I don't know. I think you might just see this person to be like your uterus or your other bits. Might have a feeling. Might get stirred up a little bit there to be like, oof. But here's the thing. I always can't help but point out that like it's one thing to talk about it on YouTube land. Very kind of fantastical. But in real life, when you're literally, you got bags, driving to work, you got all the things, people are messaging you, you're fucking eating shit because you've just gone through a divorce, you just feel terrible, you're just trying to survive. And then, yeah, there's like this surprise where you're just like, it catches you off guard and you're kind of like, I don't know what to do with this. And you're also sometimes like, really, Spirit? Like, really? Like, what is it? Is this a joke? Or like, but you're human, so you're gonna have yeah. And I always see these parts of the flower as like wishbone, like a wishbone from a chicken. So again, going back to like oh, the Ten of Cups, the Ten of Cups. How does this person, when they lay eyes on you, how does this person, Grandmama, feel about collective? The Ten of Swords. Oh, but it's also how they see you. So they just might see you where you're at, that you're hurting. You've gone through a terrible thing. Which is nice, because I'm getting the feeling it's not like they just show up and like, they're just, like, I feel like they're gonna be like, struck by you, but also because like this person is striking. The image is striking. She's beautiful. And like, look at her beautiful hair. But then it's so obvious that like all these people are really like, that really fucking hurts. Also like the head, like ouch. Yeah, they're not stabbing anywhere else, it's the head. And if I can be honest, there's a lot of female hands in there. I see one male hand. Yuck. Where's the sisterhood when you need it? Okay. Okay, so how else does this person see you? That Page of Cups, I knew it was gonna come out. I knew it with that little fish. That little fish. Yeah, I feel like both of you have this kind of hermity energy. I feel like that point of connection. And see, kitties sniff each other when they first meet. So it might not necessarily be a smooch. That's what cats do. You're either sniffing butts or sniffing whiskers, just to be like, who are you? Yeah, you might do a little boop on the nose. Yeah, a little sniff, a little boop. And then it's this connection. Oh, I love it. I feel like the two of you are gonna just talk and talk. And then we have the Ace of Cups. And look, there's that Emperor. And we saw the Empress. Oh, beautiful. Guys. Okay. Okay, so really quick, I'm so Snoopy and Scooby with this reading this forever long. Okay. So when you meet this person, what's going to be like your first reaction? Like, are you going to feel nervous? Are you going to feel scared? Are you immediately, like we saw that Empress, I really got the uterus kick there. I really feel like you see this person and like, without thinking, you're like, oh my God, I had babies with this person. Two of Swords. Making a decision. That's fair. I feel like your pace though, yeah, the Ace of Cups, you're like, as one naturally would, where you're like, oh God, do I even have the stomach or the energy? But everything about this whole reading, I don't get any sense of rushing. Everything to me feels really balanced in both energies, but especially yours. It's paced, it's moderated. Even when you work too much, I feel like you're always aware, again, of, oh, we put that Wheel of Fortune away, of like the inner machinations. You know what makes you tick. You're not afraid to feel your feelings. In fact, you do feel everything very deeply, but you're just private about it. You show up in the world still, even though you got tons of shit going on that's just like ripping out your heart, but you still show up. And you give to people, and you lead people. Well, but see, like, this person is like, has their eyes covered and is like, but what they don't see though is that the two birds, like, this is the thing. When we're all, oh yeah, going back to logic. Logically, you might be like, I don't know about this, but those two birds are already on top of that little hat. I'm sure they snuck in a smooch. I am quite certain those beaks, there's already been a smooch. So, yeah, I feel like that very practical, and also the part of you, I don't know what you do for work, but that person that like oversees, like you're an emperor, you handle a lot of things. So that part of you also gets applied to this, where you're like, yeah, you're not just swayed by your uterus or hormones or good looks, or you balance both, where you're like, huh, I'm having some feelings. But then you're like, well, I just lost my marriage, or like I just signed divorce papers. So like, what are we doing here? Like, what is the focus? Yeah. Okay, so what's the pacing gonna be like of this relationship? Are you gonna go low and slow? I do see that friendship, that Page of Cups. Yeah, I see you guys actually just spending a lot of time connecting. Quality time, like literally just, you know, I love to say it. It's my favorite, $5 and a cup of coffee. Just like sitting around together and talking about anything and everything, wandering around the city, under the snowflakes, 9 of Cups. Well, the two of you are showing up as the nines, the 9 of Cups and the 9 of Coins. So you're both single. See, you're going to stay single, both of you, but you're going to get to know each other. So it's like pre-dating. Before you actually start dating, you pre-date, which is like just spending time together under the guise of like, we're two people working on a friendship, getting to know one another. But this outfit, like, you got dressed up for this person. Like, you can pretend all you want with your little candlestick wands here that you're like single as a Pringle, not interested. But if you weren't interested, you'd be wearing your like old-timey sweats. You're not wearing old-timey sweats. You're wearing a fucking great outfit. Like this like leather armor, ruffly collar, flower hair, on point. Love it. How is this person going to feel about the pacing? Do they want to go fast or do they want to go slow? Queen of Cups. Oh, to the Chariot. So they want to go fast, but see, remember? Oh my God, look, they're riding their little snail that was off their hat. See, and this is my favorite snail. This is the one that's like peering over to be like, oh fuck, can I make that leap? She's big, but is like, I'm gonna go for it. Yeah, this person also moves a little bit slow, but they have a lot of feelings. Yeah, they have a lot of emotional depth. See, back to these fishes. There's a lot of emotion here, but both of you, you're so funny. Again, you really match each other. You both look great. You both look great. You show up to your little hangouts in whatever ways that you spend time together. Maybe it's a little walk down the street. You guys could be neighbors. Like, again, I feel like there's this really organic meeting, or maybe there's a trail in the woods that you guys just always happen to do. And then you start to naturally end up there at the same times each time. And then you just naturally start doing these walks together. And then you walk and talk. And then you do that for like a month or two. And then finally there's a point where you're like, do you want to go have a coffee or some lunch after this walk? Like, my dogs are barking, I'm hungry. Yeah, but like a snail also goes a little bit slow. So like there's like fast but slow. I love it. I love it. I am not mad about this. I'm not mad about this because again, I can feel the energy. Like, oh, normally after Divorce Town, but like everything about the both of you, which is actually so nice to see, but it's reflected in my favorite Justice card, where it's, for once, it's reciprocated, it's balanced, it's even, it's paced. Again, the word moderated. I don't know, the older I get, moderation is actually like my new kink. As someone who's been very hedonistic and really pursued love and, I don't know, very Taurian, I don't know, the older I get, I'm like, moderation is where it's at. It's so attractive. It's attractive in others. I find it attractive in myself. Yeah, moderation. Because I find that those who know how to moderate are those who have experienced the pendulous swings. And they're like, you know what? Have your cake and eat it too. You just don't need to be wild. Ah, I love this. I wanted to see what card I was gonna like just naturally pick when I picked up the deck. 10 of Cups. And look again, all these little fishes. I'm telling you, for those that want babies eventually, I think, yeah. But I do see time. It's like making a beautiful slow cooked soup. You can make a fast soup, or you can really spend the day letting that shit simmer, let all those flavors come out. Oh my God. Yeah, it's beautiful. Okay, well, on that note, oh my God, this is like the longest reading of my life. Okay. That's my cue. Okay, stay blessed, stay golden. Go get that smoochie. Moderately.